What's up, guys? Good morning. How's everybody today? Well, today I decided, I like to just jump in the truck and go somewhere. Stop along the way, and like I did with the smoked fish thing, just drove and found something. So today I drove, and I had no idea where I was going, but I could see I was going farther and farther along this big road, not going anywhere. So I just turned off and came down this lane. And there's people here selling, I guess you could say in Western terms, house plants. In Asian terms, you can put them outside in the garden because they never freeze. So I come along, I met this guy, just walked in, started talking to him, speaks good English. Well, we communicated. And I just got talking to him, and really fascinating story. Let me show you this first. So this plant's called Lucky Bird. It's like a long stem, and then you have the flowers on top. This is my new friend. He's following me everywhere. What are you doing? You want to pee on something? I'm not going to pee where you pee. I'm not that friendly. You coming home with me? So here is my late lunch. It's almost 4 o'clock. So I went inside and met the guy who owns the place. It's his home's right there. This is him. So, and he basically grows plants. Here's the plants. And this is the story that tickles me pink. I love this story. He comes from a big family, lots of kids. I forget how many he said, like 8 or 10 kids. And the family was very poor, didn't have any money. As he grew up, he went through school and finished school in the 4th grade. 4th grade. So he didn't have much of an education. And he worked in the rice fields. And then as he made some money, he bought some land. The land that you've seen. That's his place, right? And it's 5 rye. I think 2.5 rye is 1 acre. So he's not got a lot of room, but you've seen it. So 15 years ago, he decided he was going to start growing house plants. So what did he do? He invested 400,000 baht, built the salang thing, the tables, everything, bought all the plants. And then what he did is, as the plants got bigger, he sold them. And then he took cuttings from the second one as they got bigger and then made more. So you have 100 to turn them into 200. This is the elephant ear. And you can see the flowers. The flowers have gone now. There's some more coming on the back side. See it on the back side? So I told him, he showed me this plant and asked me if I had that. I said, yes, real big. And he was super surprised. So I got this one here, another baby, and one over there and one over there coming up big now. So there's 4 altogether. So he was very surprised that I had these, and they were so big. and I asked him if he had ever seen the flower, and he had not. So I showed him a picture online. I couldn't find my pictures of the flowers, but I showed him a picture online, and you know, he was quite impressed. But he has one, but it's small, maybe like a 1.5 meters tall or something like that. So, you know, he understood that I have a garden and plants and things like that. I showed him some YouTube. He didn't have anything. He bought some land. He did rice farming. He built himself a house, which is quite a nice house. He turned that land in the front of his house into the garden. And now, with a 4th grade education, he's 67 years old. He's got 10 million baht in the bank, he said. He can, this is what he does. This is the part I really love, though. He can take a few fish out of his pond, a few bananas from the tree, some other fruits, a few plants, and goes to the market, and can make about 5,000 to 6,000 baht 3 times a week just doing that. Afternoon market. So he a few fish from his pond, a few plants, and some bananas and whatever, and he can make 5,000 to 6,000 baht. So he's making 15,000 baht per week, right? So that's about 60,000 baht per month. And the last time I heard, many years ago, so my figures might be wrong, but an engineer can earn 50,000 to 60,000. So he's got a 4th grade education, making 60,000 baht a month, the same as an engineer, by selling his little fish. And he's not working all day. He works for a couple hours in the afternoon, 3 days a week. So who's the smart one? You know, you finish high school, you go to university to earn 60,000, and he earns 60,000 with a 4th grade education, but works less than half the time. He's got employees working at his house taking care of the plants and stuff. So what is my point in telling you this story? My point is, if you can, you know, in the West, the culture is so built around being a sheep. You know, you're born into a loving family, and you're encouraged to get good grades at school, and you go to university and you get all these debt, and then you have to pay the debt back there's no jobs, and you're stressed out, and you're trying to figure out what to do. And I told you before, I've met guys who worked in McDonald's in America with degrees, and I'm thinking, so you have an education, but you don't understand entrepreneurship. So this guy thinks about what can I do, and goes off and does it, making the same money as an engineer with a 4th grade education. He's got 10 million in the bank, 30 rye, so it's I want to say it's around 15 acres, something like that. And he lives way off in the countryside. No noise, no stress, not worried about any of the sales. He doesn't even have internet. Yeah, I can't remember his name because it was too long, but anyway, I wanted to share that with you. When I met him, I seen his business idea, his model, and I'm like, I love that. Does it sound something like you've heard before? Because wasn't I going to do something like that? Yes. Remember I put these poles up? Right? And I got 4 more poles over there. One to go in the middle where they are now, and 1, 2, 3 in the front here. And then make the bars across the top and put the salang on. And then I was going to put not house plants, but vegetables and herbs, and grow them myself here. Do you remember me telling you that story? But the reason I stopped and didn't do it is I started to get a little bit spooked out about, you know, living here with the visa and the way things are working and the rumors you hear and etc., etc. So remember I made that video about should I move? Well, that was the reasons why. But after listening to him talking today and seeing his setup, you know, I've got everything here already, and he has to pump water from one river through his property to his pond. And I said the house is right on the river. He was like, really? Really? He was really impressed that, you know, how far out I live, just like he does, in the middle of nowhere. But I have a river right here, and I have a pump, and I pump it around to water everything. And he's like, really? Really? So we're both doing the same thing. We're both doing the exact same thing. I just find it fascinating. So I wanted to share that story with you. There's no real conclusion. I mean, there's some conclusions in there. You can get some advice from there if you wish. Like, I would suggest to go to school and get at least a high school education. If you want a degree, go get it. But if you think, I don't want to do that, there's plenty you can do without going to get a university degree. Can you do it in America? You know what's different though in America and Britain? And there's property taxes that you have to pay. Here there is no property tax, not in the middle of nowhere. You buy your house and you're left alone. All you have to do is pay your electric bill and so on and support yourself. Much easier to live in Asia, in Thailand and stuff like that, you know, than it is to live in the West, where you got everybody and his brother. I mean, you have to pay a bedroom tax now. TV taxes in England. I was watching a guy the other day who traveled saying fish and chips in London was £10 in one place and £13 in another place. I'm like, what? So, I hope you enjoyed. So I'm going to sign off now and chill out a little bit. Look after yourselves. Buckets of blessings. Rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. All the best, guys. See you in the morning. Good night.